year's fabric exhibition and seminar organized by Invista, and that is entitled, obviously, in very big writing, Fresh, Bold, and Fun. And just to introduce myself, my name is Melody, and I will be your MC for today. And as always, today we have a packed agenda for you all, and this afternoon that is delivered by a talented panel of speakers. And of course, they will showcase to us some of the latest megatrends that are driving the development of denim, and also look into some of the latest processing techniques that's being used to take advantage of them. 先生们、女士们，欢迎各位莅临英威达公司今年举办的新意无惧玩乐牛仔面料展览和研讨会。那我的名字就是 Melody， 也是你们今天的主持人。Our first VIP speaker is Mr. Steve Stewart, that's sitting in front of me right now. He is the North Asia Commercial Director for Invista's apparel and advanced textile business. And just a little bit about him, Mr. Stewart has recently relocated to Shanghai from the business global headquarters in Wilmington. And in his new role, he is responsible for leading the sales and marketing teams for North Asia, supporting Invista's unique portfolio of products and brands that includes a few things, from the family of Lycra fiber, Coolmax fabric, and Thermalite fabric and insulation. So let's welcome Mr. Stewart to the stage and set the scene for today's event. 首先，我们有请就是英威达北亚区服饰和高级纺织品业务部的商务总监 Steve Stewart 先生，就是跟我们做一个小小的致辞。
I think that's the longest introduction I've ever had the pleasure to receive, so thank you very much, Ashil. So thanks very much for joining us today in what has become an annual event. I think this is our second edition, so we're very excited about that.
Thank you very much, Steve, for that snapshot of Invista's views and vision for the future of denim. So without further ado, I will introduce our next speaker. But before I say that, maybe I'll just say what I just said in Mandarin. 非常感谢刚刚 Steve 跟我们的分享。So now I have a very familiar face in front of me. I'm sure I've seen her somewhere. I think it's probably here last year, and that is Miss Jean Hedges. She's the Global Business Director for Denim and Woven's Business, who is based in New Jersey. And of course, this is the second time that Jean has flown such a long way and have taken out her busy schedule's time to speak here at our event. And she will be shining some light into denim sales trends, mega trends, and consumer insights. Please welcome Miss Jean Hedges. 接下来就是我们以最热烈的掌声，就是欢迎有请英卫达服饰部牛仔和时尚面料的业务全球总监 Jean Hedges 女士，我们给她最热烈的掌声，好不好？给我们两位嘉宾的，也可以想一下，但我有什么东西可以包围一下的。Now my first question is, what is the background concept for combining Lycra Dual X fabric and the tensile fiber in denim? What is actually the background for that? I'm curious.
Yeah, let me talk about a bit about the background of this concept. We start on this concept based on the market needs, and it's really a market drive, leading to they are looking for a very high stretch fabric, but it is a fabric which needs to have a very good recovery and growth, as well as a very good shrinkage and no slippage. That's the concept behind that. And also, I would like to recap about that. That we do have a technology, the patent technology, which is Lycra Dual FX fabric technology. Basically, of course, it's a patent process. And the web yarn we use is a copper yarn, which contains two elastic yarns. One is the T400 fiber, and the other one is Lycra fiber. And these two fibers interact with each other because T400 is a lower stretchable yarn versus Lycra, which is a very stretchable yarn. And one can help the fabric can be extended to a very high elongation, which can give you comfort. However, when we are looking for a good recovery, that means we have to use another yarn, which is T400, which provides a very good recovery to the fabric, and the fabric can come back to a very stable condition.
So when you say that, that's kind of like what one of our speakers said earlier. I think Greer actually said that, or actually I forgot who said that. It was a lady. She said it was when the jeans, or was it actually on the video? I forgot. But when people actually wash the jeans, it goes back into the original state. But when you actually put it on, it stretches again.
Like
you get into that vicious circle. That's exactly what this is.
What she's looking for as well.
That's what I thought. Sorry, keep going
keep on.
Thank you.
So for the comfortability, I would like to pass to Rex. He will elaborate more on these tensile.
Okay. So regarding for the tensile, actually, before I detail before I answer this question, you can imagine when you put something like compact and tight fit things on your body, what do you need? First of all, you need to have a comfort. First of all, second thing, you need to have a breathable, and also it is a natural thing. So this is three key things we need to put on something tight fit and compact. So actually tensile can cover all of them. So first of all, it is about the comfort. So tensile can offer you the piston and also the drape. The second point is about tensile has a higher moisture regain. To a certain extent, it has a better heat capacity. That means it can absorb your vapor when you're doing exercise or you're walking, reduce your heat. So this is second point. This is the second point about the comfort. So for the second factor, it is about the performance. So for the performance, you will need to have a better strength. So no matter dry or wet stage, tensile is a better strength performance. And also better color retention, no matter after several wash or 50 washes. The last thing is about the sustainability. So no doubt to say that tensile, the raw material, we are using a kind of renewable resources. We are using a kind of eucalyptus tree. And also the process itself, it is a kind of Lycra process. It is a very high technology process. It is different to the visco process. We can ensure the solvent recovery by 99.6%. So that's what we call the Lycra process. It's a kind of closed loop process. So this is all about the tensile. So how about the Lycra Dual FX? What is the benefit?
Okay, let me show you some more data about, or we talk about the stability of the Dual FX fabric, which can provide growth recovery, good shrinkage, as well as very low slippage. So here are some charts that we'd like to show you some data. If with regards to the first one, we did a test in our laboratory using 50-50% tensile and cotton at the sheath, and in the core is the Dual FX T400 and Lycra fiber. These two fiber interact with each other as described, and this one shows a very good recovery. And in the chart, the blue line is, or the blue bar actually, is the Dual FX fabric versus the red bar, which is only normal Lycra fiber inside the core. So as you can see, the higher the bar means a better recovery. So here are four fabrics. One of the first one on your left is having a higher pitch density during weaving, 40 ppi, and a lower twist level. And then the second one is the same ppi, but has a higher twist level. So. And also the third one, lower PPI with a lower twist level, and the fourth one is lower pitch density as well as the higher twist level. So all these fabric is, when we designed it, is more than they were more than 40% stretch, which is very high stretch. And suppose if they are not having the Dual FX technology, and you can see from the red bar that all these are having a very low recovery power.
Yeah, actually, I have a question because my attention is actually really short, so maybe I should ask before I completely forget. Can we actually go back one slide? I actually have a question about the previous slide.
This one?
No, no, the one after.
The tensile?
Yes, here it is. Actually, one question I have, just speaking from like a consumer's point of view, actually, at the bottom, when you said performance there, better color uptake and retention, I understand the retention part. That's when my jeans actually fade out after washing. But how does the color uptake actually affect me? Like, how does it actually affect the product itself?
Okay, so today we are talking about the denim, but denim, of course, we are using the indigo dyes. But today we also talk about a kind of color denims. So for color denim, normally we're using the reactive dye. So for cotton, maybe we're using like a 7% to get certain start of shade, dark colors. But maybe for tensile, you use 4% to achieve the same level of darkness. So that means you reduce the dye stuff by maybe 3%, but you can get the same level of darkness. That means another meaning you can go higher, because for cotton you have a kind of limitation to get the dye stuff.
So you're saying the colors can actually be more saturated,
Yes.
and also I guess that kind of affect the retention as well, because you need less dye to actually get the same color. So of course there's less things to be washed out in the process. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. I just had to fire that question.
Thank you.
And actually, for the second question, I have another one. It's were there any challenges in terms of the production process which had to be overcome to turn this into this concept into more like a reality?
Or maybe I would like to go through a little bit about my charts.
Okay.
Rather than just recovery, is better recovery with dual FX. It also shows a better shrinkage here. You can see also the lower the bar means better shrinkage here. The red bar is again the dual FX, and the red bar is the one with normal Lycra, which shows a higher shrinkage here. And then we are talking about the slippage. We always find some problem when during showing that the slippage is another problem. So with the technology from Dual FX, it really helps to reduce the slippage. Considering a seam having a 1 centimeter in width, if the yarn inside the core can slip more than 1 centimeter, that means you will find a problem here, and you will see the so-called seam failure. You find sparkling in the garment, so it's not desirable. With the technology from Dual FX, we can resolve that. So you can also see from the charts, it's always 1 or 1% below. Of course, on the right hand side of the charts, that is a little bit higher because of the lower twist level as well as lower peak density in that we designed to do that to show us what will be the desirable fabric construction to achieve the low slippage. Thank you.
And did you have anything else to add to that, or anything else that you did to overcome this challenge? Because it seems like there, to me, getting the ideal pair of jeans is actually quite simple. I just have to pay the money for it. But the stuff behind it is actually quite a lot to deal with. And as I mentioned to everyone, if there's a question, please do feel free to ask, because I'm sure I'm not the only one with questions here. So that's that for now. So thank you very much. 感谢你们非常清晰的回答。那就是我刚刚就是有说，就是如果大家有什么问题的话，其实现在可以发问。那我刚刚已经很不好意思的已经问了2个，所以如果已经 cover 了大家的 topic， 就不好意思。可是如果现在有什么现在可以对我们2位就是发问的话，可以先举手一下，那我们会有人员就是会给你麦克风的。So now let's open up for questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand, and one of our ushers will actually bring you a microphone. And okay, I see someone at the back. So please.
My name is Johnny, and I come from Amsterdam. So I have one question I'd like to ask you. Is there any specific product of your Lycra family that should be used or must be used for the denim fabric?
Thank you for your question. I would like to answer that because it's related to Lycra. But before I answer your question, maybe I would like to show. Mr. Mark would like to show that the process in terms of how to finish the garment through the process and what are the major concerns before I introduce you the appropriate Lycra. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So before we answer Johnny's question, so you are too rushed. A little bit interrupted. Sorry that. So I would like to talk about something like washing, because today we observe quite a number of common defects in the denim is about the washing, especially the bleaching process. Of course, in this, for the denim fabric and also the jeans, we have a lot of challenge. But we have, luckily, we have our partners, our experienced partners, to solve with the problems, like starting from spinning, weaving, dyeing, finishing, and etc. But today I will not talk about that kind of issue or challenge on the process, but I will talk about more focus on the washing, because this process is more close to our end product. Maybe it will be more easy to understand. So this is very typical process, washing process, about the tensile, standard tensile, cotton, Lycra Dufix fabric. So you can see the process, starting from the first figuration, second figuration, breeching, and also the etc. But today I will not talk about the figuration. Today I will talk about the breeching. So why breeching is very important? Because in the breeching stage, normally the people will think about breeching is breeching. But breeching has two components. One is breeching, another one is anti-core. So anti-core is most of the people, they skip the process and they want to shorten the time. They will maybe do a kind of improper anti-core process. So this is a very typical process. You can see starting from the breeching, 60 degree, 50 minutes. So we can breech the fabric. After that, we need to do what we call anti-core. And then we do the detergent washing. So this is the process. So why anti-core is very important? Because when I look at the market, or maybe some of the denim jeans with others elastic fabric, if they didn't do a proper anti-core, maybe the recovery and also the growth and also the tensile strength of the fabric will be gone. So this is one of the, one of the comparison or study I did it for you today. So we're using the fabric I mentioned before, and one is with proper anti-core. Another one is without proper anti-core. So you can see there's some figures. So the mean elongation, the mean recovery after 1 minute and after 30 minutes. You can see in here, the growth and also the recovery is not much difference for Lycra Dual Epics. So I think this is very good product. But when I see the elastic for the market, this is not like that. And for your information, this fabric without proper anti-core I keep for 1 week. You can imagine when this fabric without proper anti-core put in the container for 1 month. So how can you imagine? Maybe the recovery will be much worse. So the second figures I would like to show is about the tenacity. So this is definitely, you can see the tenacity is gone by about 7%. So from 275 Newton down to 250, you can see, 58. Yes, about 7 to 6%. So I'm sure if we keep this fabric for about 1 month, maybe 10% or maybe 50% will gone. So this is what I prepare for you about the washing, the importance of the anti-core process.
Yeah, to answer Johnny's question, that here you can see that chlorine really will hurt the elastic fiber inside, which is Lycra there. So we would like to recommend that type 166L Lycra is the type number that we would like to introduce you here because of the chlorine resistant as well as its strength in our Lycra portfolio that will really help to maintain its better recovery and strength. And also you can see in Mr. Mock's slides there, the change with and without dual FX technology there. You may see that the recovery, the strain may not be really pronounced here. I mean, not a really big difference was because of the use of type 166L here. But again, I agree with Mr. Mox that when those garments are shipped out in a container having a temperature of 40 degrees or even higher, that would even create a more problem if there is no dual FX technology inside it to be used in the denim. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wow, so it actually acts as more like an insurance for your fabric. Wow, that's pretty good. Next up, do we have another question for the two gentlemen regarding the bleaching and washing solution for denim with Lycra Dual FX fabric and tensile fiber? Do we have any questions for our two speakers?
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Renee. I come from Fort Boston. I have a question that if the right washing or bleaching and color will give the fabric a new life, and then we can sell it very well. But if not, what can be done if bleaching and color is not correct?
Okay, thanks for your question. We understand that during the bleaching process, pH value, the content of chloride, temperature, duration, all these combined together will hurt Lycra or all the kinds of elastin or spandex. So the most important thing is to maintain the cycle time. We will recommend every cycle time is within 15 minutes at a temperature of 60 degrees C. And if the color is not correct, then we would like to drop the bath, or we recommend to drop the bath and use a fresh bath to retreat the fabric once again. And up to a stage when the colorimetry is correct, then you can drop the bath again. And again, to remind that a good anti-color is very important. Just to wash away the remaining chlorine is very important also.
Okay, so I guess everything kind of relates to each other at the end, like the stuff that you guys just said. It actually kind of relates to each other. Do we have any more questions in the audience? This is probably the best time to ask because it's probably not as easy to catch you during the cocktail session. So this is probably easier to ask right now. Do you have any questions just regarding maybe perhaps about something that they said during their presentation? Okay. Let's see, going once and going twice. Okay. I think we're good in terms of questions. So again, thank you very much, gentlemen. And of course, we can catch them during the cocktail session, if we're lucky, that is. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
所以时间有限咯，那我们之后就是如果有机会的话，我们可以在鸡尾酒会可以就是发问问题的。So in the meantime, let's thank again Raymond and Rex for their insight. Let's give them a big round of applause again. Thank you very much. And everyone is just cleaning up here on the stage. I know we have something quite interesting that's prepared for us after, and I will actually tell you that in a moment. 虽然我们今天的互动环节时间真的有限，可是我相信呢，在之后我们所有的来宾都可以在接下来的一个 cocktail 的酒会上，可以有更多的机会跟我们的专家可以交流一下的。所以同时也是感谢蓝生普先生跟莫伟彪先生带来我们的非常非常出特的一个见解。Now it's time for for the fun part. The fun, see the fun part right there, in case I'm covering it. We're finally reaching the fun part right now, and I don't want to give away too much, but I can tell you that, like today's event, it actually offers a lot of genuine surprises. 所以接下来呢，就是让我们进入 fun 的一个部分哦。那让我们可以开始欣赏一下我们以下的表演，一起来感受一下今天带给大家的一个种种的惊喜。所以大家要好好的享受一下哦。That was actually a really good mix, wasn't it? And just like denim itself, it actually covered a lot of ground. The past, the present, and the future. Now, to mark the occasion, could I please invite a representative from each of our exhibitors to come on stage for a group photo? And could a VIP representative from the following organizations please come to stage? 太棒了，我觉得刚刚那个配搭实在是太赞了，其实我根本不知道会发生什么事情，我还以为他们就是歌仔戏跳完就已经走了，可是原来没有所以就是很感谢我们的表演者为我们带来那么精彩的一个表演。那现在呢，请在场的参展商代表到台上跟英威达的代表做一个合照留念哦。So Mr. Barry Lin is our first guest that will come up for the group photo. He is the marketing manager of Adwin Peace Goods Co. Limited, and that is 尚荣集团有限公司市场经理 Barry Lin 先生，请上台。And Miss Amy Wong, Vice President of Advanced Denim Co. Limited, 广东前进牛仔布有限公司副总王中文女士。And coming up is Mr. Roy Yin, Senior Manager of Central Fabric Limited, 中央棉子有限公司高级经理严浩宇先生。Miss Zhu Rongping, Assistant General Manager of Black Peony Group.